Hello and welcome back to Retrohaven, guys. After the immense success of Resident Evil 2, Capcom was able to focus on this series as a long-running franchise. But the Resident Evil 3 that we all know and love was totally different from what we get in the end. So, with the new series of our retrospectives, we will cover Resident Evil 3, its story, and what happened that we have this game instead of what Capcom had in their mind. With that said, this is Daniel from Retrohaven, and welcome to Resident Evil 3 Retrospective, Part 1. The success of Resident Evil 2 made Capcom sure that they have a winning formula at hand. But what they did after was no-brainer. They decided to go and start a new game for the third official installment. This new game was supposed to have Claire Redfield and Chris Redfield as playable characters. They were facing multiple obstacles that they did not expect in the way though. First of all, when they tried to create this new and next-gen experience, they needed something stronger than Sony's PlayStation 1. But Sony had other ideas. Based on the contract between Capcom and Sony, the team behind Resident Evil should create at least 3 main titles for PlayStation 1, and this was a major issue for the people. But Capcom was not empty-handed. At the same time, they were working on some spin-off projects, and one of them was about dire escape from the streets of Raccoon City. So, they decided to change this spin-off and make it an official numbered title. So Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, or if you are familiar with the Japanese version, Resident Evil 3 The Last Escape, was born. There were many speculations about who is the main character of this new game. But after they have decided to turn it into a main series entry, they brought one of the veterans back. Yes, Lady Jill Valentine was back to control the helm of this amazing project. The project was given to one of the people in the Capcom who had a great track record. His name was Kazuhiro Aoyama, and he was a major player in creating Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2. So, as a result, they decided to use him as a director this time. Once again, Shinji Mikami was a producer of this game and did not get involved in creating the game directly. The team working on Resident Evil 3 were focused on 2 major things. One, having a pursuer that was inspired by T-1000 in Terminator 2, and the other one was amazing action experience. Yes, Resident Evil 3 was the first starting point for action-oriented RE titles. Almost every single character inside the game were new people, and the familiar faces were only 2. So, the team had 1 year to work on a miracle. And what they did do? They tried to use many of the things that were used in Resident Evil 2. Character models, environments, and a lot of graphical aspects were borrowed from amazing Resident Evil 2, but worked to create much better on PlayStation 1 graphics. In the end, after months and months of working hard on this project, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis was released to the world on September 22nd, 1999. At the beginning of the game, you were treated to an amazing CG intro. This CG intro was the best in the whole Resident Evil series, and I believe that it is still the best until today. This CG intro was not related to the plot of the game directly, but indirectly showed what happened to the Raccoon City. Yes, the police forces, a new force that was sent by Umbrella to help the people, they were all faced hordes of zombies, and the people were slaughtered one by one. This intro still makes me amazed at how well a Resident Evil movie can be, but we will never see something like this in a real movie, I guess.
This is Chopper Delta, preparing to drop off at area E95070. Over.
What are
The graphic quality of this CG cutscene was amazingly well, but after that you were treated to the start of the game, and right at the beginning I faced a huge question mark. A building exploded and Jim Valentine was vomited out. What the hell happened? Where is this place? Why the Jill was there? Why the Jill was not harmed? These were questions I asked and I never got the answer in the whole game. Yes, later on there were interviews stated that this was the Jill's apartment. But this kind of cut corners are clearly stating that the team behind the project were in immense pressure time-wise. But this pressure did not make them fail. Yes, this game was released on critical and commercial acclaim. It was not able to recreate the success that Resident Evil 2 had, but nobody expected that to happen in 1 year. But this game was amazing nonetheless, and even today many of the hardcore fans believe that Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is the best game in the whole classic versions. The exploration of the Raccoon City streets were a major part of this game's experience, and the first third of the game was there. I gotta say that the streets of Raccoon City were nothing like the places that I used to live and grow, but the streets were oozing by the feeling that some people used to live here just a while ago. In the city you could see many puzzles that did not make any sense for any city in the world, but this is Resident Evil we are talking about, so everything was made sense in a nonsensical way. And I gotta say that it was a heartwarming goodbye to Raccoon City, because the story was about to wrap the Raccoon City's incident and everything with it. Number of the enemies at the screen at the same time were increased to create more tensions, and at the same time they have created some assets to fight this kind of new situations. The environmental storytelling was improved. There were many instances that you were inside the street and you hear a shout or a scream or something, and when you reached the place that you heard the noise from, you could see that the person who have screamed succumbed to the zombies attack and died. Or you could see some people shoot a couple of rounds and run away just in front of your eyes. This kind of storytelling was very good for the time and still makes the game playable. On the other hand, new enemy types, new bosses, new environments, new gameplay mechanics, and a lot of other fresh things were added to the story, to the lore, and to the gameplay. So, this game had a new world with some amazing new mechanics that came to stay, and some amazing ones that were disappeared without any trace. In the end, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis sold around 3.5 million units, which was a great number for that time. This game was received extremely positive by the critics, and it got around 90% in the average of the ratings. Fans loved it, critics loved it, and everyone was happy. So Capcom was ready to move forward and focus on the next generation consoles. But they had some major issues on the way that we will cover in the next installments. But for the Resident Evil 3, I gotta say that this game remains one of my favorites, one of the all-time favorites of the fans, and it was the end of an era, a great conclusion to Raccoon City's story that we will cover in depth in the next 9 videos of Resident Evil 3 Retrospective. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like it and share it with your friends, because we want to have a lot more awesome audiences such as yourself. Please leave a comment and let us know what series you want us to cover and anything that you want to discuss with Retro Haven. That's it. I will catch you in the next